Hello from SkyFi Audio in Glen Rock, New Jersey. Thanks for watching. If you're a fan of our channel, you'll know how much we like tuners, primarily because we live in a great market for FM. We are about 25 miles outside of New York City, and we've got a plethora of great stations, both broadcasting from New York City and from Newark, New Jersey. We have great signal strength. Our town happens to be a little higher than New York City, so with the simple roof antenna, we get very, very good reception. But we've also noticed from talking to our clients that just about everybody lives in unless you're very, very remote from an antenna, just about every major city has at least one good station, whether it be jazz, classical, or one of the national public radio stations. So, we encourage our listeners to try to reconnect with FM. It's a great, easy, convenient way to enjoy your stereo system. We tend to like it as generally kind of like busy music. If we're working on a piece or on the computer and we don't really feel like pulling out a record or going through the streaming, or the tuner is just a great way to kind of put on some high quality background music. So we review a lot of tuners. We love the technology and the ease of it, and we've got all sorts of specialized equipment that lets us analyze their performance. This one just came in. It's a Magnum MD108. It's the first one we had in the shop of this generation. We are a fan of Magnum. We've tested a bunch of their earlier tuners, and their antenna in particular, their simple whip antennas, is one of the best on the market, and we include that with almost every sale that we have for a tuner. The MD108 is a high performance tuner full of really great features, and this video is going to essentially go through it with you. The first obvious thing is how beautiful the unit is. It really has a very, very high quality layout, from the rows of gold-plated switches at the bottom, the large tuning knob and antenna selectors, the VU meters, and more interestingly, the magic eye in the middle that illustrates signal strength is really just a gorgeous combination. Thick aluminum front panel, probably about 3/8 of an inch, if not ½ inch. Solid aluminum case. And then we'll go over the rear end a bit later. Let's go back to the front so you can kind of get a better feel of what all the controls are. The first knob you'll see here is an antenna selector that has the ability to select between two analog inputs for antennas. This would be great if you've got, for example, two antennas in your system. Maybe one is a directional and one is omnidirectional. This lets you kind of select between the two very easily without having to use an external antenna switch. There are also two inputs labeled D1 and D2, which are not being utilized in this particular model. They're blanked out. Moving on to the row of switches, let's go over some of that function. These are all momentary switches, meaning that you push once up to engage and the second time to disengage. They're toggle switches. They have a very high quality feel. Starting with the power button. The power button essentially brings the unit on to life. As you can see, it's got a pretty quick turn on. This is a mostly analog tuner, so everything reacts quickly, which is nice. This is mute, and it's not really the mute for the output signal. This is the muting for the stations. So this will essentially mute the signal until you receive signal strong enough for the audio circuitry to engage. Followed by the stereo selector. This enables and disables stereo modulation. And then these three switches here, BW1, 2, and 3, are the interfrequency modulation switches. You essentially have to select one of those three filters in order to get the tuner to work. And they're just different degrees of intermodulation adjustments. So you're pretty much gonna bring in your signal to a station that you know of and select between the three to see which one gives you the better separation and performance. The blend switch we'll go back to later, and then dim essentially just cycles between two different signal strengths for the, I'm sorry, not signal, but brightness for the displays. Sorry about the glare in the image, but I can see the displays picking up some of the glare from our lights. But I'll give you a shot of what this looks like without any lights, so you can kind of get a sense of what it would look like in your house. As you can see, it's got a very nice warm glow to it. It's not very bright or offensive, so I think it would look the part in just about every system. I'm gonna leave lights off for now. I think it's gonna be better this way. Then there are two signal meters, and in the middle you'll see the magic eye, which essentially closes with signal strength, which is really neat.
Yeah, there's a broad range of kind of characters, but
so as you can see, the magic eye essentially fills in as the signal strength improves. And it kind of helps you dial in. This is an infinite position potentiometer, so it allows you to sort of figure out what the right exact spot is for the highest quality tuning. So even though you'll see that the numeric display jumps in 0.1 increments, you can feel right away that there's quite a bit of resolution in between a 0.1, for example, and a 0.2. And that's what this magic eye allows you to do, is to dial it in just perfectly to get the best signal quality. So you can see that right here, even though I'm barely moving between 95.5 and 0.6, I am in fact affecting its center tuning. So a really neat feature in the age of digital tuners where you're essentially just jumping digits. This is really finely adjustable, which we love. So on the right, you've got the mute indicator. Here's an LED that tells you when we've got the muting engaged, and obviously the stereo switch will light up when we've received the stereo signal. Okay, let's go to the back and show you some of the connections. The first thing I did forget to mention is that the output section, the analog output section of this tuner is in fact tube driven, which is really neat for a tuner of this age. They've really taken great care to choose the best components possible, and having tubes for the audio output is a really neat touch. You've got WT-BT gold connectors here of the highest quality as well. And you'll see you've got both balanced and unbalanced outputs, which is also pretty cool. The composite output here, I imagine that's to connect some sort of a scope for further dialing in the signal. The two antenna inputs are right here. We talked about these. The front panel selectable, A1 and A2. D1 and D2 were for some optional modules. I imagine it was an XM radio or some other sort of digital tuning device. Don't know what this would have been for, and obviously this is your IEC power cord. So I think that about covers it. Again, the MD108 from Magnum Dynalab. Oh, another thing to mention is the case that it comes in. It comes in this beautiful, super high quality road case, almost like a flight case. With foam, custom foam fitted inserts, and a very well appointed bound manual. So, and then the other thing worth mentioning is, the sort of support you can expect from Magnum Dynalab. You can actually call them up, and a real human is going to answer the phone and help you through just about anything that you need. When this unit arrived to us, the Magic Eye had been damaged in shipping, so we were able to get a replacement from them very quickly, and they were incredibly responsive, which was a real extra plus. Okay, I think that pretty much covers it. Thanks for watching. Please follow our channel, and activate notifications. And of course, visit our website for not just this piece, but other hundreds and hundreds of vintage audio pieces at www.skyfiaudio.com. Thank you so much.